Hey, it's the Chubby Bartender Podcast with your host, Jason Gillum and Chad Reynolds. With a special guest each week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hey, we're back.
We're back.
We're back on a Thursday, rainy Thursday.
Yeah, boy, rainy Thursday. And,
chilly.
And you know what's funny, man?
What's that?
On my way here, I'd come from practice, had kind of hustling around or whatever. I used an app.
Oh, did you?
I had to eat quick. I've got so many points on that app.
You in double digits?
I went up there. I just want to tell you, man, thanks for dinner. Not one dime was spent by me.
All points.
All points.
Emptied them.
Yeah.
Did you empty the cart?
I did.
Did you?
I had like 9,000.
Well, yeah, you got to feed the family when you got 9,000.
Yeah, well, I didn't feed the family. I fed myself.
Oh, just yourself?
Yeah, I still got some points left over.
Oh, okay. Brad, Sarah Munn, Jackson, Oak Hill, Wellston, and MacArthur McDonald's. We thank you. We need a chubby bartender's parking spot. That's all there is to it.
I'm lobbying for spot 3. Just go ahead and put
Just
our
give
logo
it to
on
us.
it if you don't
Give
care.
it to
That'd be
us.
great.
Yeah. So who else we got?
Well,
I'll let you take them tonight.
Huh?
I'll tell you what. I'll say them. You do them.
Okay.
Tonight.
Okay.
Let's go with. You been earning a day?
Boy, I'll tell you, I feel like I earned today.
Did you?
But more so as the result of taking a Pfizer booster.
Did you take it
earn
today?
anything? It was a couple days ago.
Yeah.
My God, it's laid me down. But hey, man, earning the day. AP Prep. That group, we've talked about several times on here. Never heard a complaint of anybody going there. I know you and your son are doing it now. Mm-hmm. I mean, and then if you look at the sheer number of Division I athletes that come out of this area, I would almost argue that every one of them works out over there at AP Prep.
There.
They've been there at some point in their career. So, I mean, to me, if you're wanting to be the best get over and check them out.
Earn the day.
Yeah, Jason Prater's running a quality shop there. Now, you'll have to give him the contact.
Oh, I was going to say, Chad, you're not going to do you know it?
APprep.com.
APprep.info.
.info. Yeah, okay.
Gee,
See, that's why I can't do that.
He can't do it, Prater. He can't. All right, now, let's see. Have you had your insurance reviewed lately?
You know what, man? I haven't, but I've heard from you that the rates are very favorable, and they're keeping you busy.
Fact today, guaranteed issue. Now this woman had COPD, had a heart attack 3 years ago, and was 75 years old. $15,000 a guaranteed issue at $170 a month. That's not bad.
Wow, dude, that's unbelievable.
That's not bad.
I mean, hell, that's just one of those where it's like you can't even insure that. But
that's what they were thinking. But
you
guaranteed
can. That's outstanding.
Yeah, got it.
So she got a final expense policy and is ready to go. That's awesome.
There it is. So give us a call, 740-395-0357. Shoot me an email, jason.gillum@american-national.com.
All right, let's talk about the engineers.
Hey, I need him to engineer a heavy bag for me because he's working me too hard.
Is that right?
Hey, he's serious. I got to give it to him.
You want a lighter heavy bag or a?
Well, he's my shoulders. Every time I work out with Scott Massey, my shoulders stay sore for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, I just would quit working out with him.
Well, I'm about to. He's too much of a savage.
When did he turn into just a complete savage?
I don't know.
Not only is the man a brilliant engineer and running a tremendously successful company, yeah, but he's also one hell of a boxer.
Oh, he throws hands.
Oh, on a heavy bag.
What? No.
And leave a man sore.
This is me and him.
Oh, sparring?
We trade off mitts and gloves.
Oh my goodness.
So I mean, he's constantly he works me to death.
Oh my.
Yeah, he's
pounding it.
He's grinder. Grinder.
Go see that guy if you need some.
Ralph Street, Jackson, Ohio. Give him a call, 740-286-0800.
Yes.
What else we got? That's it. Hey.
Now we got Bailey Coutts.
Is it Coutts?
It is Coutts.
Bailey Coutts. All right. Well,
it's either Coutts or Coutts, either one.
This is your doing, so I'm going to let you introduce it.
Yeah. I mean, there's one of the main reasons we wanted to get Bailey on here, and thank you for coming to share with us.
Of course.
Bailey,
thank you for having me.
Yeah, Bailey is in a very unique degree program in college. I would have to say it's a newer program.
It's
correct?
about second year in, so I'm the third graduating class.
Nice. How is that?
intriguing.
Wait, not to interrupt. How's the long drink?
That's amazing.
It says strong. Now, what's the volume on that?
Strong like an orange juice is what it tastes like.
Oh, it's not the grapefruit flavor
Well,
like the other?
grapefruit orange juice. That's delicious. That's better than that.
Is it really?
Yeah. I feel.
What's the
that
alcohol?
way nobody wants it anymore.
Yeah. What's the alcohol volume on that?
8.5.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay, well, it's not messing
And
around.
that's a smaller can too. I'm surprised.
Yeah,
Pack a
it's,
punch.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's delicious.
You got to try one of those too, Bailey.
Okay.
We're experimenting
I
with
need
this is the 99 cal zero sugar long drink. It's only 5%, but gin with natural grapefruit and juniper berry flavors and artificial sweetener.
You guys should not have introduced this to me.
See,
wow.
We're 100% on it.
Oh my
Everybody
gosh.
that tries it is like, wow,
That's delicious. Yeah.
Oh wow. It's like a it almost kind of tastes like a tea. Like some sort of like a
I wish you hadn't have said that.
Yeah.
Now that's what I'm gonna taste whenever I do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're
Is
right.
that a bad thing?
No, you know what? You know what this tastes like?
What's
An
that?
Arnold Palmer.
Is that right?
Oh.
Okay.
That's
can
what
see
this
that.
tastes like.
Well, like those, I thought they tasted like Fresca. Like if you've ever had that soda. I mean,
very
and
good.
I don't think you can really even taste any alcohol in it, man.
The teas, I had a bad experience with twisted tea one night.
Oh, I stay away from that
and
stuff.
I wish you hadn't.
Well, you got the
might have ruined it
carbonation.
for
At
me.
least you got the carbonation in there.
You did a little bit.
Yeah,
but
I'd
this
get
one
back to
seems
this.
lighter.
I'd focus on the citrus.
Yeah.
you know.
Well, it doesn't have as much as cider,
Not
as much fizz
okay.
as this.
It's probably got more gin.
Probably.
Yeah.
You might have ruined this, Bailey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. All right. Now,
Okay, so-
Bailey Coutts.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, and so she's in this new degree program at Hocking. You say there's only a couple of schools anywhere.
It's actually the second in the nation.
Okay. Tell us what the degree is.
It is Cannabis Lab Tech. Cannabis Lab Technician.
Lab Tech. Awesome.
Yeah, it's
Okay. And
it's
so you're
intriguing.
training to work in a dispensary, a grow operation,
pretty much anything and everything that I want to do down that aisle, honestly. So, you guys know about Appalachian Farm down at Beaver Pike? They have that processing and extraction lab. I actually interned there for my time being, and it's usually over there. So you do mostly extraction. You have to work on a something that they called a high performance liquid chromatography machine. So it's pretty much just like testing the percentages on marijuana. So I got to do some of that.
You're
so
doing
it's,
all that in the lab? Like you're,
Yeah.
Okay, so you're learning how to do that digitally.
So that's a big part of it right now, just with all like the legal activities and stuff. You have to make sure to test the percentage before it gets sent off. You do a lot of
Don't they test it
packaging
again?
and yeah, they test it for a bunch of stuff. So I think there's
Well, don't they
there's a
test it
whole
coming
list.
out, and then don't they have to send it to like a random third party to test it, and then
Yep.
send it back, and then the numbers have to match?
Yeah, so it first gets tested by, I think there's only 3 testing places that you can take it to in Ohio. One of them being Hocking College, so you can come down. It's actually kind of interesting because my professor was coming down to the lab when I was interning, and I was like, "Hey, man, what's up?" But how's it going? Nice to see you.
So okay, take us. We got to go back before we're jumping to the end.
Yeah.
So what brought all this on? Tell us the
Yeah, you know what?
journey
Yeah,
here.
let's take a walk here. Bailey,
Start from
obviously
square one.
not from our area.
I don't know. You're not?
She's a
No.
transplant.
Okay.
I am a transplant.
So
Okay.
tell us a little bit about that.
So-
what your background is. What leads you to want to study
Yeah.
cannabis?
So it's actually been kind of prominent in my life for a while. I mean, I was in California before Ohio, so it was already legal in California. So I was doing it legally. you
Yeah.
know? But so I was over there. I know. Whoops! Am I supposed to say that?
Yeah. You're the-
Yeah. I mean, I would assume that that you appreciate the effects of some good marijuana.
Oh,
if,
for
So what
sure.
were you
Yeah.
using?
if you're going to
for?
choose this as a degree.
Definitely anxiety issues. I have
Okay. Well, I
generalized
wasn't-
anxiety to the max,
okay.
and
I guess
that was a very big help for me.
I didn't mean to get like that personal with it. I was
No,
just meaning
you're
like
good. I
medically
mean,
or recreationally.
Yeah, it's both, honestly.
Okay. Okay.
I was in high school, so it was first
Yeah.
recreational. I was like, oh, this is nice. But after that, I kind of saw like the medicinal effects after that, and actually, there's a drastic difference. I mean, marijuana does a amazing things for cancer patients and people that have epilepsy and all that good stuff. So I just kind of took interest in that mostly. I kind of bounced around between majors for a little bit and was kind of at a dead end job in California. I was working 9 to 5 at a Harley Davidson. Love Harley Davidson, by the way. But my dad moved here. He's in nuclear power plant stuff, so he was at the Piketon. He was there for a couple of months, and he offered me a full ride in college. So I started looking for majors if I, ever wanted to move down to Ohio for any certain reason, and I saw.
You loved it here.
Yeah, right. No, I love Ohio. Honestly, it's better than California.
Was it a drastic change?
It was.
When you got here?
It was a culture shock for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
What part of California were you from?
Humboldt.
Humboldt, from the north. From the north.
From the up north. I was an hour and a half away from Oregon.
Yeah.
I don't even know what Southern California is.
Yeah.
Everybody's like,
No
beaches,
cow.
trees. And I'm like, oceans, cold weather.
Yeah.
Moist, mold.
Yeah. You were in the. I thought it was pretty up there though.
It is beautiful.
That's what I thought.
The redwoods, the smell, the oceans. It's amazing up there.
Okay, so you come down here. And then you came down here for that degree.
I moved to Ohio for this degree.
Okay.
So that was big change up. I moved in here in about August 2 years ago. I started in January, so I had a little bit of room to get ready. But walking into the program, it was very, very kind of weird at first just because it was brand new. So they were kind of.
How's Hocking doing that?
Oh man, they're not doing very good. I'm not trying to diss Hocking or anything. I love Hocking College. They're great. Professors are amazing, but I feel like they could have taken just a little bit more time planning out the classes.
Are they taking it like? Okay, so let's just talk about your day. So. I'm assuming that a lot of people just by default are going to think that this degree is just a bunch of stoners.
Yeah. And honestly, when you walk into the class, it's half and half. Like it is. Half of them are there to, I want to actually do something, and half they're like lounged in their seats, just like looking in their books, and it's kind of hysterical sometimes.
Yeah.
And you walk into the class and it smells like marijuana, and you're like, okay, who smoked before class today? And then you got your professors pulling up videos on how to roll a joint, and it's pretty awesome.
Really?
Honestly, yeah. That was the first class I was in.
What all are
it's
they
kind of like
offering?
What was that?
What all are they offering? Like lab? You got lab? What else?
They just offered lab classes. So they opened up a lab, I want to say about 5-6 months ago, like a completely working lab where students can actually go and do their internship over there. So they have machines, they have all the analytical stuff.
And they're one
solutions.
of the testing sites for Ohio.
They're one of the main testing sites.
So so let's take, you've got a local dispensary. So you've got Buckeye Botanicals out here, right? Okay. So let's just say that, their menu or whatever, how many of those products are made in Ohio? All of them?
All of them, yeah.
They have to
be
from Ohio.
Yeah.
So that's so you can only get, so in Ohio it's just medicinal right now. However, your degree would probably cross over both ways.
They brush up on the recreational aspect of it, but they mostly cover medicinal just because that's what we're introduced to right now and what we'd be going into.
Are the regulations tighter on that, on the medicinal side?
They're very tight. There's a lot. Actually, they have a whole class dedicated to the rules and regulations. It's actually called Rules and Regulations, and they have a optimization class as well. So there's a whole 8-week class on ethical behaviors and the SOPs and all that good stuff.
So Buckeye Botanicals, they've got nothing but Ohio product, or any Ohio farm dispensary has nothing but Ohio product then, right?
In Ohio, yeah.
In Ohio, nothing.
So that's statewide too.
Statewide.
So every state that you have, they have their own
deal.
And
that's how they support themselves with it and keep an eye on it, and they know what's happening.
Yeah,
basically.
I think as long as it's not federal, I think it'll probably stay that way.
So now, does all of the cannabis that is grown for those product, is it from Ohio?
I honestly don't know for sure. When I was working at the lab, I know they were sending in the marijuana,
They
so we
couldn't
could
keep up.
Yeah, so I don't know where exactly it was coming from. It wasn't labeled on the bags, but I would assume the same thing as with the since it's all marijuana at the same.
That grower, that's all he can do. He's not allowed. That grower's not allowed to.
Can't process it or
Can't
anything?
manufacture it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once you cultivate it, you can't do anything else with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then it goes to a manufacturer, which we have one of those here. And so then that group, and there's probably a few of them, 4 or 5 of them in Ohio, right?
Manufacturers. Yeah, there's a few in Ohio.
Few in Ohio. So they go to a manufacturer. That manufacturer comes up with their brand or whatever, and then they offer basically every line of that. So you're basically you're gonna, that degree is part of the testing for all of that process then, right? Like you could go to the dispensary, you probably won't have much need there, will you?
I could, but I mean anybody could go to the dispensary.
Yeah.
So I mean that's not really
For
necessary, but
utilization of your degree, you're going to be probably on the manufacturing process.
Manufacturing,
and/or the growing.
cultivating, extracting, working on the machines. They have a couple of the testing machines. That's a whole nother realm as well.
Okay, so tell us what you've learned in cannabis. So tell us about what it's doing. I want to know, like, give me some chemical reaction, findings or what they're seeing, rather than the process.
That's honestly kind of a hard one. I don't necessarily think that they find new sightings in marijuana's. It's more of a maintaining thing right now with Ohio. They want to make sure that it's top tier, it's up to date, everything is consistent with each other. There's actually been a few problems that I've read about where they don't, they skip tests. Like you're supposed to do pesticides and check for kind of heavy metals or water moisture content.
Mold.
And a lot of places just kind of say that they don't have the machinery to even do that, or they simply don't do it and they get in trouble. So I think one of Ohio's main problems right now is just finding a common ground and building off of that and making sure that what they're doing is actually consistent with everything, just because it's been a big issue with trying to figure out the grounds and the rules and regulations, like I said, and everything like that. It's
so you're
it's
not
tough
in,
waters.
You're not in all, but in the what do I want to say? What side?
Kind of creating strains and stuff like that.
Yeah, what side would that be? Would that be not the chemical side, the
that's what I'd
science
wanna say,
side, or the chemistry side?
Yeah.
So the
grow
one thing that
operations,
Hocking never really brushed upon was the cultivation aspect of it. So there's one class that kind of gives you the expectations and how to lighting, LEDs, the setup, how to maintain the water, how to properly water them and create a system like that. But as far as creating strains, we didn't necessarily get into that.
What about how the strains react? Any of that? Here's how you treat.
So we actually got, I wish I actually brought it today. So they gave us a color wheel, which was a really neat thing. So you get the aroma from whatever you smoke, and you smell that, and then it kind of ricochets back onto the taste aspect of it. So you get the smell, and then you get the taste, and then you can kind of match what strain it is. So there's indica, sativa, and hybrid. So indica is kind of the couch-like effect, what a lot of people like to say.
In the couch?
In the couch. Indica, couch. Hybrid is a mixture between sativa and indica. So sativa.
Why would you do a hybrid?
Hybrid, so that's kind of like an in-between of the two. So if you don't necessarily like the uppity of a sativa, but you kind of want to feel more calm at the same time, I would recommend a hybrid. So you're more focused, hands-on, but also kind of relaxed physically. I actually recommend hybrids to people that have anxiety or kind of shaky or social anxiety of any necessary. Because when I bartend sometimes, I get the shakes when I'm pouring beer, and I sit there and I'm like, what is going on? And then, I did smoke before my shift one time. I'm not going to lie. And I was serving beer and I was like, I'm not shaking. And I'm more social. This is very, very nice. What is going on?
This is great. Yeah.
So how does it affect you then for that?
I would say that it's just kind of I'm trying to compare it to a certain type of medicine that anybody else would take. It's kind of like taking
Zoloft.
a shot of Fireball in a coffee in the morning. You wake up, you feel loose, but you feel ready to go in the morning.
Yeah.
It's not anything too overwhelming. It's not an overtaking of a mental thing because you smoked too much or you're too high or something like that. But it's more of a relaxation, kind of just tuned in with everything.
So here in Ohio, where it's medicinal use,
right?
So I would assume that it's treated very much like a pharmaceutical drug.
It is.
So like if you're making gummies or whatever, there's going to be a certain milligram, I assume, forgive my ignorance, like assigned to that gummy.
Yeah. So,
And you probably have to make sure that
That's your
all those
dosage.
gummies
Yeah.
are the same.
evenly
Right.
dosed with the milligrams.
Right.
Yeah.
And probably the same for any edible, correct? I mean,
So that's actually kind of a tricky process that testers are even still trying to figure out. They honestly haven't figured that out.
You ought to have Jimmy's down the road.
Right. Yeah. Shoot.
I mean, yeah, his mixing pot don't go very good. You get
no.
one on the corner, it'll floor you.
Yeah, that's for sure. One wrong tab and you're done.
That's why they are doing it. They're regulating it because of that very reason.
Right.
Because if Jimmy down the road,
Yeah.
if you're getting your edibles from him,
yeah. Here, try this brownie.
here, try this brownie.
Yeah.
You don't really know what's in it.
No.
I mean,
No.
and this way, you can say, because it's more about the dose, isn't it? Like you're dosing by your milligram. Your milligram tells you where to go on the chart, basically.
Yeah. It usually start for beginner users. A lot of people
10.
usually recommend 10 milligrams to start off with.
I've seen 10 milligrams just floor people.
Yeah.
Just floor 'em.
Which is weird, honestly,
Yeah.
because I feel like 5 to 10 wouldn't be enough to
That just
get
makes
you
your toes
get you
warm.
uncomfortable. But
Yeah.
I mean, for some
Yeah.
people, it really
It just
does the
floors.
deal, which is, I mean, unfortunate.
Good for
but,
them.
Right. Yeah. Lucky. Less money.
So then, like, people probably start building a tolerance.
Yeah.
And they go up the milligram. And
It's actually really easy to build a tolerance with marijuana, in my opinion. It's not something that's too out of the ordinary. I'd probably say a week max to feel comfortable with it. Like a lot of people, when you first start off, it's a big, overwhelming paranoia effect. They get paranoid. Their heart rate increases. They get freaked out. Their surroundings get all weird and goes down from there. But that's the main issue that a lot of people have, and that's why they don't like it and don't continue to do it. But once you get over that hump, it's amazing.
Yeah. And you can also kill your tolerance in that same amount of time, they say.
Really.
Well, like you could take a week off and then
it's right back.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
right back to
Well,
where you
when
were.
I-
Now, is there anything to? All right, you say there's 3 different strains. Like if let's say your tolerance is building, if you switch strain, does that create
Well, those aren't
a different
strains, are they?
effect?
They are types.
They're
or types,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a million strains.
There's there's
So,
a lot of strains.
All right,
but
so out of those 3 types, like all right, so say you switch from one of those
There's actually 2 and 1 together.
in the hybrid, yeah.
for potency, it wouldn't affect how your body reacts to it, but mind wise, with the indica, it would probably just kind of give you a little bit more slumped type deal, but it won't change like the paranoia effects. So if that was your main issue with smoking,
Or
that
like
won't-
if I what I'm saying is like if I start building up this big tolerance to indica, like then if I switch to hybrid or what's the other one called? Sativa, would that have any different effect on my tolerance?
not your
No.
tolerance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tolerance would stay the same, but effects would be different. So yeah, there's 3 different types. Most people get hybrids just because you have that even amount of each one.
And that's
It's a good balance.
I don't know how old you are, but I mean that's kind of all new technology too.
Yeah, it is.
Knowing what you have, I mean, I'm sure back years ago, or back in the 60s and 70s. I mean, I think that you said that years ago, all of it was sativa, or all outdoor was sativa.
All of it was like rigor mortis. They had it was a complete different name when it first started,
Yeah.
and then more research happened, and
Yeah. And
all the
then
Greek
they-
gods were smoking that good stuff. And
Pretty much.
that was the storyline. It was like this man, he was up on top of a hill and found flower in the hill and ate some and passed out for a day, and all the followers found out, and blah, and good old
It's crazy
backstories
why
like that.
It's illegal.
I know. I mean,
I mean-
it'll always baffle me, honestly, just because it's
As a drinking is way harder on you, I think.
for sure, and you get a hangover. That's no
hangover,
fun.
yeah. But so you're going. So I mean, what's your plan to do? So how long is this degree?
It's only 2 years, surprisingly.
So this will be an associate's.
I believe so.
Okay.
It doesn't specify, and I think it's because you can't really build up from my degree as of now, because there's, I mean,
So
you can get like a
certificate.
bachelor in biology to kind of help
Tack
with it.
on.
But I mean, that's what you get, just a Cannabis Lab Tech, and they haven't done much since. But I mean, that's an amazing start, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, I would imagine that if there's not already, there's certainly going to be a lot of demand for that type of job.
For sure. Yeah.
And I mean,
There already is.
Well, yeah, and I mean, you take legal states like California, Colorado. I mean, I would imagine that there's need for that kind of stuff in any of those locations, correct?
Yeah, there's a little bit more need in the places that don't have recreational, just because a lot more people can actually just kind of get into the recreational, because since you only have to be 21 and up.
Yeah.
And most of that kind of backfires on dispensaries, because there's a lot more dispensaries open in places like that, more so than even cultivators.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, the places that are already recreational, they kind of got a head start.
Okay.
And the places that are still kind of struggling with legalizing it, they're struggling with the legality of it, so they can't get that head start. You know, I mean, I know California had so many illegal grows before they even considered it recreational.
Okay.
You ever see that Netflix Murder Mountain or whatever?
Yeah, actually, my friend was on that documentary.
Really?
It was right in Humboldt Hill where I lived. Surprisingly enough,
That's Murder Mountain?
yeah,
No shit. Mm-hmm. You ever seen that?
scary.
I have.
Yeah. It's a
pretty-
good show.
It's a
I
good
have to
show,
check it
yeah.
out.
It's about California marijuana operations.
Okay.
It's a crazy business right now. I mean, that's my route to work by the dispensary now.
Oh,
I live
on
on
the way to
35,
Buckeye
yeah.
Botanicals.
And I mean, there's all the time a line out there.
Yeah,
there-
it's
Who regulates this? Like, there's regulators that say that it has to be to a certain milligram and everything has to
Right.
match and everything like that.
Yeah.
Who is that? Is that the state? Is that the,
so it is a Department of Commerce.
Okay.
The Ohio Department of Commerce regulates
Okay.
all that. There's actually 3 regulators. There's the Commerce, there is a Board of Pharmacy, and then there is a medical board as well.
okay, so they fall under the Board of Pharmacy then.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Board of Pharmacy, I think, covers the pharmacy physicians, the people who prescribe the marijuana, and the dispensaries itself as well.
Okay.
So they got 3 right now. I don't know if they're going to add on. I don't know if it's necessary to add on anymore. I think what they have going on right now is perfectly fine. I mean, they got a lot of regulations that, in my opinion, they don't need all of it.
Right.
But I mean, they have to put it down just in case. You know,
Sure.
you don't want anybody getting sick. You do have to treat it as a medicine right now, which is totally understandable. So there's a lot of tests, which is, I mean, for sure necessary, but it's a struggle for labs for sure.
Yeah.
So what's your plan with all this? I mean, what do you think you're going to do?
I'll probably go back to the lab, honestly. I had a really fun time interning where I was at. I love being hands-on more than anything.
Okay.
I do like the social aspect of it, so I kind of was looking into going in the dispensary, but like a lot of people have told me I could do that anytime, maybe a side job of some sort, but my end goal is to potentially have a business of some sort in cannabis.
Okay.
But just to get my feet in the door, I'll probably go back to Appalachian
lab.
Farm.
Okay.
Stay there for a little bit, see what happens, maybe move up a little bit and work my way from there. But
So, I mean, what kind of, and maybe you don't do or don't know, I mean, what kind of income are jobs like these paying?
starting probably like 65 a year
Yeah.
is what I've seen
That's pretty good,
posted
man.
online. Yeah,
this
it's
area,
really
yeah.
good.
Well, I bet
good,
that whole
yeah.
business is doing well.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
you know there's money flowing through that business. I mean, no question.
I mean,
At
yeah.
every level.
I think you can look it up, but I think, like they average, like just even this one here, I think 40,000 in sales a day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's I mean, but look, there's a lot of people got their hand in that by the time it starts at that seed.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got your cultivator, then you got your processor, and then you got your dispensary, you got the state, you got the regulars, you got those 3 boards of people that regulating that. Everybody's got to get their cut.
Yeah.
Well, and
It's
I can see that somebody that's certified
Labor?
to operate those machines and run the lab would be a highly desirable person to have.
Oh, for sure.
For the sake of regulation and stuff like that. I mean, when you can show that you have somebody that's trained.
So how are you? So what are you like? Are you taking an actual flowery bud, and you're trying? Are you? So what are you measuring the consistency of, or the potency of, or whatever the.
So you can, it's the product that's being sent out. So say you are getting
Candy bar.
Yeah, say you're getting a candy bar. You will take, well, not necessarily for edibles, but somebody else will take a tiny piece out of that candy bar. They'll essentially take the whole thing, but take one piece out of it, make sure that it is, let's say if it was supposed to be 10 milligrams a piece or 7 milligrams a piece, that piece should be probably around the same percentage. I think it can't be anywhere above 2% around that starting percentage. Okay. If it is, it has to be sent back. And once it gets sent back and they remake it, it has to go to a second party. And if it doesn't get approved by the second party, then it's out. If it does get approved by a second party, it has to go to another third party, and then it's okay to.
So how much waste are you having in this business?
It's a ton. It really is.
What do they do with the waste?
So
probably recycle it, don't they? Or
no, they actually. So there has to be a full waste disposal room. There's a whole waste disposal room dedicated to disposing of any type of batter, wax, anything that has marijuana on it, honestly. So you're supposed to take 49% of any type of grass material, paper, any of even you could put food in there, food waste, and you mix that with the other half, make sure it's all good to go, and then you're supposed to put it in a locked dumpster, and then a facilitated garbage place is supposed to come and pick it up, a whole different garbage
it's
pickup.
Essentially
that's
just
where your
like
swag weed's coming from.
Yeah.
Just that's like pharmaceutical waste.
It's it's intense.
See, I would think with all that regulation, that's going to be an expensive business to run, dude.
To even apply for it, you have to spend $20,000 for the paper itself.
Right. Well, and then
for the provisional license.
I said, I just think that a career path like you're in, I think that's going to continue to grow because
no pun intended.
Yeah. Actually, pun intended. Yeah.
Pun intended.
Yeah. But I mean, you know that. I mean, I think we'll see a day in the relatively near future where it's going to be recreational as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
How long do you think that's going to be?
Oh, geez. I'd probably give it a few years, honestly. I know a lot of people don't want to do it just because everybody kind of likes how the states get to regulate their own thing. That was kind of a really big subject during one of my classes, actually, because everybody wants it to be legal everywhere. Everybody wants it to be non-federal anymore. But how the states do have, their own rules and regulations, it's very convenient for everybody else because it's their own laws, and they don't have to go by just one main thing.
Well, the difficulty that the Fed creates in this, and I'm looking at this purely from a business perspective, that is actually selling product to some larger dispensaries and things like that. It's a major issue for us to ship product specifically for cannabis operations across state lines. It becomes murky kind of federal fence.
Yeah, same as with beer almost.
It's not legal here, but it is legal here. The Fed could make commerce a hell of a lot easier if they just said,
if I would have left Colorado with gummies or something, I think I could have got in trouble.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You can't bring that stuff over.
No. And like I said, man, you're talking about cleaning products or pens or something. If you're selling it to a dispensary or a manufacturer, it's dicey.
Yeah.
Because if you're shipping it from the East Coast to the West Coast,
well, you can't.
Because you're going over how many different.
Now your recreationals can.
Yeah.
So they don't have that law.
Right.
Well, but what happens is, I'm just saying, for companies, it almost makes these companies have to buy everything. All the Ohio dispensaries and grow operations and everything almost have to buy all of their product in Ohio.
Yeah, just because of
if I'm buying it from Pennsylvania, then I'm
maybe
breaking a law. Yeah. But whereas if the Fed would just be all right, it's legal everywhere,
right?
Then it's no different than
They did find a loophole in the cash system I read about. So they used to only be able to take cash at the dispensaries. So now they have a cashless ATM that is wired in right to their cash register.
Interesting.
Oh, okay. That's convenient, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we got 5 ATMs in here. It's
No biggie.
No, so whenever they open the drawer,
yeah.
that counts as money. So
Okay, yeah.
so it's just like you just deposited right there with them.
Okay. It's all electronic.
All electronic.
Yeah. Nice.
Because see, I think the only place they can bank is a credit union.
Is that right? Well, why
'Cause
did
FDIC.
what was the deal with the cash?
You can't bank with it. You can't deposit it
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
because FDIC.
Yep.
If that money is being generated via federal crime.
Yeah. Yep.
And it cannot go in money that
That's
is
right,
tied to the
FDIC.
Fed
So they have to use like credit unions who are governed by the NCUA.
or carry shit tons of cash.
Wow, I
and
didn't know that one.
Yeah, so your banks, whenever you go to the bank and you withdraw $100, that comes from the Federal Department of Treasury, or the Treasury Department,
Yeah.
which is federal money that they give that every week. The bank orders money, so that you can't go in there and mix those two funds because that's like
See,
money
it's the
laundering.
same problem. Same problem that I'm describing there with interstate commerce.
Exactly.
When it comes to
Yeah.
this, so yeah,
So that's why. But a credit union is not Federal Department of Insurance Corporation or what is it? What
FDIC.
Yeah, Federal Department of Insurance.
It's I don't know. That we'll make ourselves look stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
That's why I got the hell out of the banking business.
It's where essentially what it is the government insuring the money that's on hand.
Yeah, and their vault money comes from the Fed.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
Right.
And I don't know what the difference between a credit union is, other than the fact that you're a member.
Yeah, they're not regulated by the FDIC.
Yeah.
They are, you're not. Their money isn't backed by the FDIC. It is backed by the NCAU, I believe.
Yes, National Credit Union.
Yeah, whatever.
Association.
Again, we're back to
Yeah, you're right though.
yeah.
You're right, and it's not a. It's not. I'm
not
sure
federal.
It's not federal, but it's probably all in all. That's where
Yeah.
money comes from. The Fed.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure it probably is somehow, but I don't know. It might be the difference in the way the customers are treated or whatever.
It's a member.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, so it'd be a benefit, I guess. I don't. Hell, who knows? But
Yeah.
that there's all kind. I mean, they got their hands in that big time. Now I noticed out in Colorado, I was there this summer, and they didn't have like the medical. What it seemed like, you'd go by the recreational ones and there'd be lines everywhere, and nobody was at the medical ones. I assume it's just I was in a vacation-y area, for one, and number two. But I think the biggest difference between medical and recreation is the level of what do you call it? The level of THC, maybe, or the milligrams. I mean, maybe it was just there, but it just seemed like what they were offering, they'd have 10 milligram stickers all over the place, where like the medical, you can buy higher amounts, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the biggest difference. So the medical is going to be way more potent than the recreational side.
Right.
As far as product, like you can go out to the dispensary, on a medical dispensary, and you can buy a way more high test product than you can at most dispensaries.
Yeah. So actually, when I was in California, I was in there when they first deemed it recreational, and they started opening up dispensaries around me, and I went into a recreational one, and it's most of it is bottom bag, honestly. They had prices ranging anywhere from an eighth for $17, which is unheard
bottom
of.
bag, what's bottom? Just you talking like shake?
Yeah, it was mostly shake and trim. Most of them, which is weird for dispensaries, but I would say about 40% of the menu was shake or trim, just lower deals.
Yeah.
They have some. I mean, every dispensary is kind of required to have like a vast array of things like keef and edibles and all
What
that
is keef?
stuff. Keef is actually, so when you look at a bud per se, and you kind of look really closely, and you see kind of it's like kind of orange green specks.
Well, I don't know.
Like, have you ever seen a picture of it? Or?
I might.
So it's actually, if you would shake up if you would put like a bud in a Ziploc bag, say, and you shake it up a ton, and it would be the stuff that actually comes off of it, and that's the most potent part of marijuana, and it looks like.
It's that like the
powdered
purple
sugar,
haze?
but yellow. It's like yellow powdered sugar is the best way I can explain it. That's what it looks like. Pollen. Yes, it looks like pollen. And you just kind of put that on top of your greenery. That's what a lot of people do. If your necessary way to inhale marijuana is a joint or a bowl, you kind of just sprinkle it on top of what you're doing, and
So you can buy keef.
yeah, add some extra oomph into your
So it's like
into your
putting a little-
session.
Now you
pepper.
couldn't buy that at a medical place, right? Or you could.
I believe you can. I'm not necessarily
Keef, dude.
sure. I don't have a 215 here in Ohio,
Okay,
but
okay.
I'll have to check up on that actually. I would think that they do, but I probably not all dispensaries. I would probably assume that it's probably the bigger ones, the ones that have more.
More of a specialty line.
Yeah,
The one
probably
in
ones in
Vegas-
Columbus or something. You know,
Well, the
I
one in
don't.
Vegas is the biggest one in the world, isn't it? It's like, what, 6 stories?
It is huge. Yes, I don't even know how that's a thing. Honestly, that's more of a
Tourist thing.
yeah.
That's the way Colorado was. It was just a touristy thing.
I mean, it's nice because a lot of people just deem it as something to do. It's almost kind of like a hobby nowadays. But yeah, a lot of people are just kind of turning it into a whole business.
Yeah.
So
I can't believe we
Kudos
don't
to
have one downtown.
right, got room for
I
it.
think there will be.
Yeah.
I mean, time.
Well,
sure.
honestly, I mean, there should be,
Yeah.
I mean, I would have to.
How do you think
challenge-
Jackson would feel about that, though? I don't know much of the. I mean, I do, but
What do you think?
surprisingly, being a bartender and talking about it with a lot of customers are open to the idea of
What do you think?
of stuff like that.
Well,
but
I mean, I would probably tend to agree with that. I don't know that you'll have. I think there'll be a large swath of the population that maybe not use it, but I don't know that they would be necessarily that opposed to
Other
people
people.
being able to purchase it. I
I could see maybe like a Facebook group of angry Karens at one point. But
I mean, to me, people like that are getting less and less of a voice, dude. I mean, it's like, okay, you don't want to do it. I mean, hey, I don't use it, but do you think I care if people can go out and get it legally? No, I think it'd be great.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody high punch somebody
that you were worried about.
No. and I mean, my thing is like, why would, if I'm sitting around my living room and I don't use, cannabis, but I'm so motivated to keep you from using it, then I need a new life.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't care what
doesn't-
room you're in.
Yeah.
Well, there's a few rooms that you could be in, but I mean, biggest part of the time, if you're in a room, I would say nowadays you're probably 60-70% of that room has at least done it.
I would agree with you, and I would maybe even bump that up from done it to maybe
Do it.
do it on a at least once a month.
Yeah.
Then probably 50% maybe use it regularly.
Yeah. A lot of time, I mean,
And I think that number's growing. That it was always underground, but I think the number's growing. I think more people are kind of finding it and reading about it.
They
Yeah.
used to associate you, kind of being a dirty person or whatever.
Oh,
if
yeah,
you were
or,
doing
yeah,
that,
yeah.
or being a
I think people are
druggie.
realizing that it's not going to go away. So I mean, a lot of people
Yeah.
are just kind of approaching it how it is.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that people have kind of moved beyond the stereotypical pothead that
Well, pot's doing different things than it used to.
yeah.
And I've had a lot of people, talk about gateway drugs and I mean, the guys that I know that have maybe overdosed later on in life and not with us anymore, were they potheads at one time? Yeah. But for everybody that I know that was like their gateway, I know lots of people that never went any farther than that.
Right. Yeah, I don't know that I support the.
I don't
the
think I support the gateway issue,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I don't feel like marijuana's a bigger gateway than what this beer sitting in front
Well,
of me
it's
is. Really.
about
Yeah.
education. I mean,
Yeah.
Hey, if there's a difference between using it, I'm not saying medicinally, but I'm saying I think anybody, I don't care if it's this. If you're drinking this, it's usually to knock the edge off.
Yeah.
Okay,
Relax
or
yeah.
relax, or hey man, you've had a day, or
Yeah.
and if you're drinking it for any other reason than that, you need the help, not
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, where it happens is like if I can sit here and enjoy this beer and have a conversation, where the problem comes in is if when I wake up in the morning, if I don't have this beer within 15 or 20 minutes, well, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
I mean, I can all the time say I need a beer.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that, like,
and you probably fluid ounces wise drink as much as or have. You don't anymore.
Yeah.
But in your life, in my life, when we were running and gunning, we were drinking hard.
Oh, and 3-4 nights a week, dude.
5, 6, 7.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, let's face reality on that one, Chad.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, and you never, and neither did I. It never did get us.
No, we got lucky.
We got lucky.
Yeah.
There are some guys that it got, maybe, but we weren't doing it for anything. We were doing it socially, I guess.
Right. Well, and I mean, I think you're bringing up a good analogy there. All right, you talk about somebody that's maybe becomes like they just abuse alcohol. They're just a severe alcoholic, and it affects their life or whatever. I would say you'll find more of those than what you would find. Like, could you label a guy like, and maybe I'm just naive, but like, could you label a guy like, man, or gal, man, they smoke so much pot that they are just completely worthless. They're ruining their relationships and their lives. They're doing that. I mean,
I'm sure that there's people that are completely worthless that smoke pot. I don't.
There's got to be some out there.
Yeah, there's enough of them out there.
It's not generalized though at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it would probably
be much more
the
pot making them worthless.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it is. And it's like, the whole thing. Like, I guess the point I'm trying to make is, and I certainly have no data to back this up, but like, it would seem to me that you'll probably find more alcoholics out there than people that are like regular weed users that like. That can't function.
Hey, I know people that are, in their 70s. I mean, I won't mention names, but I mean that smoke it every day and go like 20-year-olds.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Where the 70-year-old beer drinkers I know ain't going nothing.
They're dead.
That or they're just sitting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where the potheads that I know that are over 70 are machines.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
they really are. They are. It's intense.
I think it's much less debilitating, dude.
Yeah, it has to be. And like the sativas kind of get you. They kind of make you focus, right?
Right.
And then, so like a lot of people are using them basically like a vitamin. I know that's people's gonna be like, it ain't a vitamin.
Kind of like a booster of some sort.
Like, okay, so like it's no different. Like if you take. What was it that got me all fouled up at ginseng?
Oh, yeah.
I was taking ginseng and St. John's wort vitamin.
Yeah.
And they're there to alter your state of mind. Like this is Nature's Valley. I got this. Your kid could go buy this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And one time I got a little depressed and I thought I was going to do the right thing. And I took St. John's wort and ginseng. I got to read, and I was probably listening to too much Joe Rogan. And next thing you know, I'm popping vitamins.
Yeah.
And I mean, it threw me into like one of the darkest depressions.
Oh, really?
And that's amazing. From like an over-the-counter supplement. That's something people need to take
understand that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I cut out that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I quit being depressed. I mean,
felt better immediately.
Hey, listen, I was suicidal. I mean, I spent all Christmas there one year, like late at night after everybody went to bed, just bawling. Like that's but I'm fine now. It's good. But the only thing that I took different was that ginseng and St. John's wort, which on the label both said to promote positive thinking. You can buy this at Walmart or Kroger's in the Nature Valley. I mean, they're right there. The
Did you ever read the ingredients in there?
Well, ginseng's just it's the
ginseng
root. Ginseng root, and it was telling you all the things that it did. Well, on paper, it looked like a hell of an idea. I thought I was kind of, I think it was a vitamin D deficiency, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Like this was happening to me every year in the wintertime.
Oh, yeah.
After I kind of looked back at it, I was like, man, every year at this time, I get a little dark.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Like seasonal depression?
Yeah, it might have been. You know what I did this year to try to combat it was vitamin D. I started taking vitamin D pill. Yep. As soon as I started taking the vitamin D pill.
I've heard people, I mean, this is funny, like they'll go to the tanning bed.
Yeah.
In order for that specific reason, man.
And because, I mean, after this last one, tell you, I was scared to death about it.
But
it was
see, like,
freaky.
have you ever heard, though, You guys, have you ever heard of like somebody that smoked so much marijuana that it like depressed them? Or
I could see people maybe thinking too much.
can you overuse it to where it just kind of neutralizes you? You think?
I think
slows you down too much.
I think it's like any other recreational drug.
Yeah,
If you're not in a good frame already,
Then
watch
don't
what
do
you're
it.
doing.
Yeah, don't do it.
Hey, don't send the guy that just got dumped or divorced or, something bad, tragic happened in his family to the bar.
No, it's not a good
Right,
idea.
yeah.
So if you're not on your A game right now, if this isn't a little icing
stay
on the
away from
cake,
it.
I'd watch what you do.
Yeah. And that goes for anything.
Anything.
Yeah. And most people that smoke it, I mean, like you said, they build up a tolerance, and
Yeah.
they don't sit there and smoke like 5 bowls to try to get where they first were at. It's kind of just like a help me out almost.
Yeah.
So when do you graduate, Bailey?
In December.
Okay,
I'm almost done.
That's awesome. So you're coming towards the end, and then you'll be looking for a job in January. And it sounds like you're looking to maybe stay in Ohio.
Yeah, I'm probably
That's
going to stay
awesome.
here for a while.
I like
honestly.
that. I like that. You move to Ohio and stay. That's what we want to hear.
Yeah, I don't recommend moving to California right now. It is a horrible place to be, honestly.
Seems to be.
In our
Yeah, I
world,
got some
Chad,
family over there
that's the saying.
Yeah, that's what we would say. Yeah.
Everywhere else is horrible.
Yeah.
Do you listen to much Rogan?
I do. I do
you?
listen to Joe Rogan.
So that's what me and Chad are refer. In our world, because I listen to Chad and
this is-
Joe Rogan.
I can see it.
Yeah, it's kind of the same way. Yeah.
Did you guys see that interview you did with the CNN guy?
Yeah, I did.
Did you listen to the whole thing?
No, I just saw the clips.
Hey. I'm a pro Rogan guy.
Oh yeah, I am too. He just wears me out sometimes.
Hey, he would like every time that dog. Did you watch it?
I
No,
think
I have
I
not
listen.
yet.
I think I listen to Rogan too much because I love him, and then I'll be listening. All of a sudden, I'm like, "God damn it, Rogan! Just shut up and let the guy talk."
Yeah, I'm guilty of that too.
Yeah.
But he did this. So the CNN's doctor was there.
Yeah, Gupta or what's his name?
Sanjay.
Sanjay Gupta or something.
Yeah. And so, whenever he got diagnosed with COVID, and they said, he hit it with like vitamin C, vitamin D, and ivermectin.
Yeah,
and
he's a savage.
Yeah, well, so the CNN was like, Joe Rogan takes horse medicine, like he was calling this guy out, like, why did you guys? He's like, your company's lying. He's like, how do you feel about that? And that guy'd be like, well, Joe, no. And Joe'd be like, no, I want to know.
Yeah.
Why are you okay with them lying? And he'd be like, play it back. And he'd be like, that was prescribed to me by a doctor.
Oh, no.
Yeah, why are you calling this horse medicine?
Yeah, he said, why are you calling this horse medicine? He's like, this is why we don't trust you whenever you say things about China and Russia.
Yeah.
He was like, because you just took...
He said that?
Oh, he was
I need to
furious.
watch
And then
this.
he's furious.
And then he told him, he goes, you even used a yellow filter on me because they played that video of Joe that was just like, hey guys, I'm feeling good. I still got COVID, but I've taken zinc. And, and he said, you even put a yellow filter on me to make me look sick. And they did.
I gotta watch that in its
He was
entirety.
like, that was clear as a bell. He's like, I look like shit. And now you're making and
God.
it was great. And I was like, oh my God, man.
Yeah.
Finally, somebody, the people's champ, Joe Rogan for president.
Yeah.
He's got some cojones for that one.
Well, he doesn't care.
He doesn't give a
I
shit.
mean, that guy's got a following.
He's got more followers than CNN.
Yeah, dude.
yeah, he's-
that guy.
That's
can
a name
flex
that you just know without even
and
watching
here's
him.
something you got to kind of admire about him.
Yeah.
he generally doesn't do that.
He doesn't. No, he'll generally like play back and be
Yeah,
like,
he won't flex up like that very
Yeah.
often.
Yeah.
I mean, and when he does, you can pretty well count on the fact that he's right.
Yep.
And he's really mad.
Yeah.
Because dude, he won't he'll normally just kind of bait a guy and let him go, but he was pissed at CNN, dude.
But he wasn't pissed at that guy.
Not necessarily that guy, but
No.
I mean, my God, that guy he was sitting in a very bad seat.
He was, and he played it off well because that's his boss.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear you listen to Rogan.
Yeah, I
That's
love
cool.
Rogan. I listen to mostly podcasts when I make the drive to school. Makes the time go by.
Why do most women hate him?
Because he's a dick. Honestly,
He's just alpha male dick.
Yeah, he's superior in the wrong ways, but I mean, he's so funny, so I don't care. You know,
Do you
it's-
like his comic?
Oh, yeah.
You do? I think
Yeah, it's
I don't
good.
like his comic act.
Oh, really?
I'll listen to because Joe Rogan, but am I going to go slap my knee and bust a gut? No, but I mean, I love listening to him.
It's fun to listen.
I'd rather
to.
listen to him interview somebody than do
Me too,
do
yeah.
a stand up.
Yeah.
But I don't mean he's not horrible.
No, and God, he's very passionate about his comic stuff.
Oh my God, yes.
That's his thing.
Oh yeah.
Podcasting is not his thing, even though it is.
Yeah.
He wants to be a comic.
The comic
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
He brings all those comics on there, and he's helped so many of them. And
Yeah,
it's
he
pretty
has.
good.
I think it's cool. Yeah, I think it's real cool.
It is.
Why do you think he's such a dick?
It's just the way he comes off sometimes with his interviews, honestly. I mean, I guess it's not bad to be straightforward.
You just
but
feel like he's kind of arrogant.
yeah, he kind of rubs off the wrong way sometimes, but like I said,
don't
I
get that.
I don't really care that much. I
You ever think
still
he
love the
does?
guy.
Well, you do. I can tell from your text there
Sometimes
today.
I do. Yeah, sometimes I do. Like I get sick of him. I'll go through phases with him.
Yeah.
Like I'll be like, my God, dude, if the whole world wasn't sucking your butt, your ass.
Yeah. I love those guys' lifestyle though. That guy just trains, shoots the shit, smokes weed, drinks whiskey, takes mushrooms.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good time to me.
I mean, I'm just like, my God.
I'll tell you what, man. Who wouldn't want to trade the guy lives? I mean, Jesus.
He's got it made for
Yeah, he
sure.
does. He
I
does.
took a pretty good break from him for I didn't take a break, but and that's what's great about like this whole podcast.
Yeah.
Like not regime, but era, I guess is
Well, as
they
a
don't
form
go
of
away.
media, it's awesome.
It
Because
is.
you can go back and catch up on it if you haven't heard it.
I mean, do you really want to go back to the days of watching sitcoms?
I can't imagine what it would be like.
Can you imagine blocking off Tuesdays at 8?
No, I can't. Like, dude, literally right now, my
not a
form
thing.
of entertainment is listening to podcasts.
Me too. I look forward to it. I love it.
And you can do something else while you're doing it.
I like listening to them a couple times. Like each one, like I'll
Yeah.
listen to them a couple times. So I took a break from Rogan,
Uh-huh.
and then now I'm kind of catching up. I tell you who else was a good one was Clay Newman's.
Yeah.
Did you listen to that
Oh,
one
I
back?
did. Yeah.
That was a good one.
I enjoyed that.
I did too. I enjoyed that a lot. We had a guy on here last week that ran the 100 mile. He ran
100
Him and
miles.
Matt Jenkins.
They ran 100 miles.
Jenkins is coming on
Oh
Sunday
my
to talk about it.
gosh. Why would you do that?
They ran 100-mile race.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, but whoa.
So they're
Got a runner's high for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean that's what they talked about.
Was it like throughout the duration of a day?
26 hours. They ran.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't.
I have so many questions.
Well, listen
Listen
to
to
Clay.
Clay.
Yeah,
Newman's.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
And
tune
then-
in on that one. That
Yeah.
sounds very
It's not-
interesting.
It's not. It'll be out by the time yours comes out. But then we had Leo Jude
The soap maker.
Taylor.
oh,
we had
okay.
Taylor-
She
Taylor-
just opened
Yeah.
a few weeks ago.
Well, she schooled us up in soap, and I took that soap. She brought us soap. I am not shitting you a bit. I've used that soap. I feel cleaner.
Really? I'll have to go
gotta
check
get-
her
I
out.
gotta
I'm not
get-
She
joking.
just made Merc Juice soap.
She did.
Yeah.
She didn't bring us any of that. She brought us some breast milk soap. She brought us.
I'm good
That's
on
actually
that.
really good for your skin.
Mahogany.
Oh, I imagine
It's
it is.
amazing.
That's what she
It's
said.
yeah.
She brought us all like sweet cinnamon. I don't know.
I got dry at mahogany. He said that's
and they make loofahs with gourds.
interesting.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're like $4.99. She sells them over there.
I've never heard of that before.
okay.
And she
That is
talks
very
about like we were
creative.
talking about, and I know I haven't. I'm probably going to regret even saying this, but we were talking about all cancer-causing agents of like
Yeah.
things that could be absorbed,
Yeah.
and her stuff's all natural. So
Yeah. I'll give it a shot. I'll have to go there. and check
you know
it out.
what? After I thought about it. God love Ryan Hall.
Yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out Butch for stepping in.
Yeah.
But I thought of all the people
Yeah.
to miss this.
Oh, that's right.
That
My
was right
alley,
up.
that-
Chad is a smooth skin.
Oh, I love
from way
to
back.
deal with soaps.
Oh,
and
you weren't there for
lotions.
the interview.
No, I was out. I
Yeah,
wasn't.
stay
in
at
town.
Oh, dang.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Chad's
yeah.
been a lotion connoisseur for 20
my.
years.
Oh,
Are
my.
you? Hey,
Oh.
it's good stuff. It's
Yeah, I'm
amazing.
serious about it.
It's a good
man.
hobby.
Yeah. I mean, like she could have probably wowed me, dude, with that.
I thought about it. I was like, oh my God. Chad introduced me to Woody's post shave.
Oh, yeah.
That was the best shit I've ever
it's
used in my
unbelievable.
life. It felt like somebody was massaging your skin.
Yeah, I mean, I won't use stuff that you can buy at like Walmart.
No.
Crackers.
Chad's
Yeah.
man product drawer or cabinet is strong.
I love it. That is
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, I mean, you'll see crow's feet on these eyes. I mean, I'm 48 years old. Yeah. 48 years old, dude. Yeah.
And you used to always tell me, you'd be like, oh, you got to rub it above your eyes.
Oh, yeah,
So,
all over your eyes.
yeah,
all over your
you gotta
eyes.
you gotta do that deep massage above and under.
Yeah.
They make those like
So now everybody can
crystal
start making
rollers
fun of me,
nowadays.
on here. But no, Bailey, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
That was
You got
really
any questions for
interesting.
us?
Yeah.
Not on the top of my head, honestly.
right.
If I do, I'll definitely have to.
Do you endorse long drink?
This is one of the best drinks I've had.
That's awesome.
It's way better than
cheers.
White Claw.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me.
It is. If
Much
White-
better than a seltzer.
If
were
you like
to get a seltzer, this is what you should get.
but it's not a seltzer.
plus one. Yeah.
It's not a
much
seltzer. It doesn't
No.
have that burpy sensation like a seltzer.
So
A
what-
lot more flavor.
That's gin.
Yeah, it was made. If you read the
Gin?
thing there, it's so cool. It was made
yeah, wow.
in Finland for like the Olympic Games. They tried to come up with a way where they could quickly serve a bunch of people drinks. So they poured gin and
They did it
whatever this
good.
is and put it in cans.
Wow.
And it got crazy. And now it's just getting to the States here over the last year, and people seem to be thinking it's pretty good.
So where do you get this from at the
Kroger's.
Oh,
Kroger.
wow. Okay, good to know.
Everybody
I only
likes
thought
to-
Kroger carried wine.
Yeah, Kroger has they got a nice craft beer section there. So
I'll have to check that out.
it's out there. You can look it up online. It's kind of in very sporadic places around Ohio, but we happen to have it. So it's
Midway's
Interesting
solid
enough.
too.
Oh yeah, they've got it. They've got it at Midway. Yeah,
Is that Gulf 76?
Yep,
Okay.
They've got it there in their walk-in.
They're
That's
craft
where I bought
selections.
these. I think.
We was
Last-
over at 50
They're very
West.
good.
Well, we saw you Saturday, and we'd been at 50 West
Yeah.
all night. We went to the
Chillicothe.
Poorhouse, and we went to 50 West, and we went Axto, and
Yeah,
then
we
we
threw
stopped and saw
Axles.
6 Cents.
Awesome.
Ooh, did you guys
Yeah.
get some good beers at 50 West?
I don't remember.
It was.
I was
Is that a
drunk.
good or a bad thing?
I was drunk. I drank
they were
7
good.
beers, and I was drunk.
Is that right?
7. Mindy
See, I
counted
didn't
them.
have that many, dude. I had a crowler from there. I had one while we were there, and then I had a crowler. I'd had 2 at dinner. Mm-hmm. So I probably didn't have more than 7 or 8 either. But
Yeah, we was.
it didn't hurt me too bad. But they have one called like the Paint Street Posse or something.
That was good. That IPA
Yeah,
was
it's
good.
pretty good.
I haven't been to the Poorhouse in a while. I've been there once, and
Poorhouse
it was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was really good.
The food was really good.
Yeah, it
of course.
was.
The food is amazing.
They were
Yeah.
super busy though. I mean, I'd say they're like everybody else. They're kind of low on help, man. It was super busy, but it was great. I mean, service was good.
Yeah.
I'd definitely go back.
Yeah, I'll go back. So. Where could they can look up your degree at Hocking College if they're interested, right?
Yeah.
Just go to Hocking College.
Just go to Hocking and then Cannabis Lab Tech. There's
How
a
much is it a year if you don't care if I ask that?
in state. It is about $7 grand. Well, probably with fees and everything, about $8 grand.
$8,000 a year, so you get 16,000 in it.
Yep,
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
it's not bad
Not
at
bad
all.
at all.
Well, hey, look it up, Bailey Coutts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
You go see her at
Coutts.
6 Cents Brewery.
Yeah.
She's the bartender. What nights?
Usually Wednesdays and Saturdays and Sundays.
Wednesday, Saturday, Sundays. All right. What
Thanks,
else, Chad?
Bailey.
Oh,
Yeah,
hey, we got
thank you. Thank you guys so
we got
much.
roasted yesterday.
Oh, who roasted us?
We're supposed to say that he didn't send it to me like he was supposed to.
Okay.
But they are having the Jackson Youth Basketball Association is back at it, and they've got sign-ups going on right now, $10 a kid.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah,
Who do they contact?
Waylon, Matt Walburn, or I doubt they'll catch us now, but come watch some games. I guess I don't because sign-ups will be over by the time this is out.
Probably so. Yeah.
But yeah, so look them up, Jackson
All right.
Youth Basketball.
See you
All
guys.
Hit that like and subscribe, smash it. See.